Hi everybody, welcome back to The Seasoned Vegan. Today I have a delicious fall dessert for you. Whether you're just craving something sweet or you want something to take to an event or a function, this pumpkin cheesecake is absolutely perfect. It is decadent, it's sweet, it's rich, it holds together beautifully. So let's get straight into the ingredients so you can make it for yourself. And afterwards, I'll show you the step-by-step process as well. So I like to use Toffuti vegan cream cheese. I've just found that when it comes to cheesecakes, this cream cheese works very well. So I have stuck by it. And I'm using this pumpkin puree as well. That's what makes it very pumpkin-y, as well as this pumpkin pie spice. And here's the coconut cream that I'll be using today. I like to use unsweetened. I've got some lemon. I'll be juicing about half the lemon, some vanilla extract, cornstarch, which is very important, and some sugar. Okay, so that's the filling. And then if we shift over here, this is for the crust, because you know we're making our own crust. Got my graham crackers there. We're going to use part of this stick of butter and then some sugar in that crust as well. So it's just those three ingredients for the crust, and that's the filling. So now we're going to shift over. Ooh, and I want to show you this whipped topping. I just found this at Sprouts, this oat milk whipped cream, and it is perfect on top of the pumpkin cheesecake. So preheat your oven to 350 degrees and get everything you need out. Here's what I'm using. I've got a mixing bowl, my measuring cups, a tamper, which I'll show you what we're doing with that. This is my cheesecake tin, my springform pan. I've already got my parchment paper in there at the bottom, but I'm also going to be wrapping it in some foil, and I'll show you that step a little later. And then here's my little beater, my hand mixer right there. So let's step into step number one. We are going to be crushing our graham crackers, and you can use a Vitamix, a high-powered blender, a food processor, or you can be like me and use your big old muscles. I'm just using my Vitamix tamper to kind of crush it all up, and it was fairly easy. Next, we are going to melt our butter to add to the graham crackers, along with some sugar. So I'm taking about 5 tablespoons of butter here, my vegan butter, obviously, and I'm going to throw it in the microwave for 30 seconds. That's all it takes. And meanwhile, I'm adding my sugar into my graham cracker crumbs, or powder, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm going to pour the melted butter right on top of that. And I'm just going to mix it up until I'm happy with the consistency. You basically want everything to be very well combined, and you want the mixture to hold together just a bit, which is easier to show than to say. So here, I'll show you. See how my spatula kind of can press it down, and it kind of looks a bit like wet sand. That's exactly what you want, because that's going to allow you to just press it into the pan. So before we press it into the pan, I do want to finish prepping it. So I want to wrap some foil around the bottom, and I go in with 1 square of foil and I wrap it tightly around the bottom, because I don't want any leakage out of the bottom there. And then I go in with a second piece just for some extra protection. Probably overkill, but it's the way that I do it, just because I did one time have an experience where I didn't double layer, and I did have some leakage in my oven, which created a very big, or not very big, I'm so dramatic. It just created some smoke, which you don't really want. You don't want a smoky oven, okay? You want to have a nice process. So anyway, that's the foil wrapping. Next, we're going to be pressing this crust that we just made into our pan, and we want to evenly portion it out or spread it out, and then really firmly press it down into the pan. I go ahead and I use the back of my spatula for this part, and then eventually I pull out a metal bowl right here, and I use that to really press it into place, because I don't want a crumbly crust. I want my crust to really hold together, so a firm press achieves that for us. Okay, so now that that is done, we just set it aside, and now we're going to beat our cream cheese. That's the first step for the filling. And the filling is so easy to make. It's literally 2 steps. Beat the cream cheese until it's nice and soft and smooth and creamy looking, and then beat everything else in with it. like literally all the other ingredients. And I don't know if I said it yet, but all the measurements are going to be in the description below, just like with all of my other recipes. So next we're going to be adding all the other ingredients in, like I said, and then beating it. Now, when it comes to the coconut cream, I do not like to use the liquid part. See, I kind of fish out the cream. I got a little bit of the liquid in, but whatever. And that just helps my cheesecake set in the end. Too much liquid is not what we want here. We do want a very thick, right? Thick kind of set cheesecake in the end. So just a little tip for you. What am I trying to say? You can also put your coconut cream in the fridge for, I don't know, an hour, and that'll help you separate the cream from the liquid if you want. I didn't do that for mine and it was just fine, but up to you. So everything else is going in: the vanilla extract, the pumpkin pie spice, the cornstarch, which is very important. The cornstarch really helps the cheesecake set. It, I think, is something you cannot skip. We've got the lemon juice and some sugar. So once all the other ingredients are in, you can go ahead and just give it a really, really good beat. Give it a good mix. You want it to be very well incorporated and smooth. You don't want any bits of anything. So go ahead and beat, and then scrape down the sides if need be so that you're getting everything mixed up in there. Perfect. So now I'm gonna pause for a little bit, scrape down my sides here, and then really make sure I'm getting my spatula all the way to the bottom of the bowl to make sure that there's not like a layer of unmixed filling at the bottom. And then I just go back in and I keep beating until I am satisfied. So it should start to look very light and fluffy and delicious, just like that. And when I'm done beating it, then I go and I take my spatula and I just give it like a really good mix up just to make sure that everything is combined. And once it looks like that, it's pretty much ready to go on top of the crust. So let's move that aside, get our crust back over here. And we're just gonna pour this mixture right into the pan, right on top of the crust, all of it. And I do like to scrape down the sides of my bowl just to make sure I'm getting all of this delicious filling. And that is it when it comes to forming the cheesecake. Now we are just gonna have to be very patient, because not only does it have to bake, but it also has to set. So all in all, this recipe is going to take you like more than 8 hours, because I personally like to let it set for like 6 to 8 hours. So what I do is I make it in the evening and then I let it set overnight. Okay. So before you do that, you are going to bake it for 1 hour at 350 degrees, like I said before. So we're gonna bake it up. Here we go. Into the oven it goes. Goodbye, my precious. Boom. Get in there. Okay. So there it is. Now we're gonna set the timer for 1 hour. In the meantime, I gotta clean up my big ol' mess. But you guys don't have to worry about that. Because of editing. So after the hour is done, we're going to turn off the heat, but we are not going to open the oven door. We're going to just let our cheesecake sit in there for about 10 minutes. I like to set my timer so that I don't forget about it. And then after those 10 minutes, then we can take it out of the oven and just kind of let it sit and come to room temperature for about 15 minutes. Okay. And it smells heavenly at this point. Oh, also, it's going to look jiggly. It's going to look kind of like a pudding, and you're going to think, oh, is it undercooked? It's not. Don't worry. That's what the 6 to 8 hours in the fridge is for, okay? So just let it be. Don't overcook it. Take it out after it has sat in the oven for 10 minutes with the heat off, and just let it sit for about 15 minutes on your countertop. And then at that point, once it's kind of come to room temperature, you're going to take it and you are going to set it in your fridge overnight or while you're at work, whatever you want to do. But yeah, just try not to cut into it for at least 6 to 8 hours because it really needs that time to set. And that's how that's how I was able to achieve that like perfect consistency. So 8 hours later, here it is. So beautiful. It's completely set, and we're going to just remove our foil, see if there was any leakage. And then we're going to pop open the springform clasp and see how it did. I'm so excited. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Let's turn it and get this thing open. So just pop it open like that, and it should come away from the sides easily. If you notice that it's not pulling, and just stop and take a little knife and you run your knife around the edge just to make sure it doesn't stick to the springform pan. And there we go. That is what it looks like. I am really, really proud of this. Cheesecake has always been my absolute favorite dessert. I love it so much. And once I realized that I could veganize a cheesecake, I was very, very, very happy. So I'm quite excited to share this one with you guys. Oh, and look who came. Oh, look, he's just pretending that he's sniffing the counter. I think he really likes pumpkin. Hi, Captain. Such a good boy. He's so sweet. Okay, back to the cheesecake. Look at that. Doesn't that look heavenly? I am so excited to slice into it. It looks so perfect. This is a great thing to take with you to like some type of holiday event or Thanksgiving with your friends and family. Absolutely wonderful. So let's cut into it and see how it did. All right, slicing pretty nicely so far. Here's the other side. In we go. I'm wondering how big to make it. Oh, look at that. It just looks perfect. Oh my goodness. I really hope that you guys make this one. I know that you are going to love it. If you're a pumpkin person, if you're a cheesecake person, you are going to absolutely love this cheesecake. Look at that. Perfectly set. Absolutely perfect. And since we're close to Halloween, I got out my Halloween dish towel there. It's my candy corn. So there it is, guys. Perfect slice of cheesecake for you. And if you don't like pumpkin, you can just do it without the pumpkin, and it's just a normal cheesecake for you. So let's not forget, we got the whipped topping. So we have to top this slice. Here we go. It's gonna look so good. Boom. Absolutely delicious. Oh, I wish you guys could come and share this with me. It's so good. Too good not to share. But now you have the step-by-step instructions and the ingredients so that you can make it for yourself. I hope you enjoy. I truly do. All right, you guys, thank you so much for watching. That is going to be it for today's video, but I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya. Bye.